Once upon a time, in a quiet town called Willowville, there was a red sports car named Flash. Flash wasn't just any car. He could talk, think, and dream. His biggest dream was to win the Great Willowville Race, a famous competition that brought together the fastest cars from all over the country. Flash trained every day. He zoomed up and down the winding hills, practiced sharp turns, and made sure his engine purred like a kitten. But there was one problem. His biggest rival, a sleek black car named Shadow, was faster, meaner, and more experienced. On the day of the big race, the whole town gathered to watch. The sun was shining, the track was ready, and the engines were roaring. "Good luck," Shadow said with a smirk. "You'll need it." Flash took a deep breath. "We'll see," he replied. The race began with a loud V-room. Cars sped off the starting line like bullets. Flash stayed focused, remembering every trick he had practiced. Around sharp corners, over hills, and through narrow paths, he gave it everything he had. Shadow stayed ahead most of the race, but on the final turn, he got too confident and slipped on a patch of oil. Flash saw his chance and zoomed ahead with lightning speed. He crossed the finish line just 1 second before Shadow. The crowd went wild. Flash had won the race of a lifetime. From that day on, Flash became a legend in Willowville. Not just because he was fast, but because he never gave up. After winning the Great Willowville Race, Flash became the pride of the town. Everyone cheered for him wherever he went, but Flash didn't let fame change him. He still trained every day and helped other cars in the garage. Flash received a letter. It was a golden envelope with a silver stamp. Inside was an invitation. "You are invited to the International Grand Prix, the toughest race in the world. Only the best cars can compete. Will you accept the challenge?" Flash's engine skipped a beat. This was bigger than anything he had ever dreamed of. Without hesitation, he replied, "Yes." But Flash knew he couldn't do this alone. He asked his old rival, Shadow, to join him as part of his team. "Me? Join you?" Shadow said, surprised. "We're stronger together," Flash replied with a smile. Shadow thought for a moment, then nodded. "All right, let's win this." They trained together for weeks, learning new tricks, building speed, and fixing every little part of their engines. They even brought in their friend Spark, a smart electric car who was great at strategy and planning. Finally, the day of the International Grand Prix arrived. The race was held in a huge city with tall buildings, neon lights, and a track that twisted through tunnels, bridges, and even underwater glass tubes. Flash, Shadow, and Spark lined up with cars from all over the world. Giant trucks, sleek racers, and even flying cars. The countdown began. 3, 2, 1, go. The race was faster and harder than anything they'd faced. At one point, Spark used her energy boost to clear a gap in a broken bridge. Shadow blocked a rival car from pushing Flash off the road. And in the final lap, Flash pushed his engine to the limit, racing like the wind. With teamwork, courage, and heart, they crossed the finish line together. They didn't just win the race, they won the respect of the world. After winning the International Grand Prix, Flash, Shadow, and Spark became heroes. They were invited to a celebration in Turbo City, a shining city filled with tall skyscrapers, smart traffic lights, and futuristic cars. When they arrived, crowds welcomed them with music, lights, and cheers. Everything seemed perfect until night fell. That evening, a mysterious car zoomed through the city, breaking speed limits, knocking over signs, and causing chaos. The car was fast, too fast, and completely silent. The police couldn't catch it. People began calling it Ghost Rider. Mayor Drift called an emergency meeting. "Flash, you and your team are the best drivers we know. Can you stop this Ghost Rider before he destroys our city?" Flash looked at his friends. "We'll do our best." The next day, they started searching. Spark hacked into the city's traffic cameras. Shadow searched the alleys and highways. Flash drove across the city, asking other cars if they'd seen anything strange. Finally, they found a clue. A trail of melted tire marks glowing faintly in the dark. "These aren't normal tires," Spark said, "and they're powered by illegal plasma fuel. Very dangerous." That night, they set a trap. Spark used a decoy robot car to lure Ghost Rider into the city square, where Flash and Shadow were waiting, hidden. At exactly midnight, the mysterious car appeared, glowing with blue flames and lightning. It raced after the decoy at incredible speed. Flash shouted, "Now!" Shadow jumped out, blocking the road, while Flash sped after Ghost Rider. The chase was wild, through tunnels, over rooftops, and even across a narrow bridge. Finally, Flash managed to corner Ghost Rider near the city's power plant. "Why are you doing this?" Flash asked. Ghost Rider replied in a deep, metallic voice. "I was built for speed, but abandoned, forgotten. I wanted to prove I was the fastest." Flash looked at him and said gently, "You don't have to cause destruction to be great. Race with us and show the world what you can really do." There was a long silence. Then the ghostwriter's lights dimmed. Maybe it's time for a new race.